This is a video that it's loaded with a lot of information. We're talking about a few things with the rmcm user that it's created from UCCX, the jtapi user. We then go ahead and create skills, resource groups, contact service queues. We associate the resources, we create the teams, and then there's also some CUCM preparation that we go through. Okay, now we know that we have a running application and a running Auto Attendant. I want to go ahead and create a new script, or actually create a new skill, create a new contact service queue, assign a team, and then create all the configuration to create a queue. Alright, so we're gonna have 3 departments. So 3 departments are gonna be sales, IT, compliance. Okay, so now one thing to notice that for the sales department we're gonna have a queue. IT department is just gonna be an extension, and compliance is gonna be a voicemail. So let's just put it in perspective here. So like, skill is gonna be sales. Let's also create a resource group, the sales resource group. Contact service queue, it's gonna be sales. And the contact queuing criteria is gonna be first in, first out. Automatic work, I'm gonna go over the automatic work in just a few minutes. But for now, we're gonna go next on this guy. And then we're gonna say that we want to queue the calls based on the longest available. Okay, and we're gonna add sales. We need to select it as the skill. Minimum competence level, it's gonna be 5. This is the default. And this is gonna be important to know based on the reporting. Now we're gonna create another team that it's gonna be called sales. We don't have any users here available right now for the supervisors because we need to come here and assign them. But I'm not gonna go over this, I'm just gonna create the team. And it doesn't let me create the team, so that's fine. We'll do it in just a minute. Now it's important to understand that in Call Manager, the rmcm application user is the one that we need to use to assign the phones, which is this guy right here. And we're gonna assign the phones as control devices to the application. And I'm not gonna assign the CTI ports, I'm just gonna assign the actual phones so that they're able to log in. Now all the permissions and all the groups are already listed here, and that's fine. The jtapi user is the one that contains the CTI ports and the CTI route points. Okay. And now before I even start, I need to come here to plugins. And I need to download and install the the supervisor desktop and the agent desktop for all the users. So in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect to my first PC. So connecting to the first PC, and we're gonna go to UCCX. This is gonna be the first time we're gonna go into it. Same thing on PC2. Let's do it first on this one, and then we move to the other one. So we're going to home, UCCX. We're gonna go to the tools, plugins, and we're gonna go to the desktop suites. First of all, we're gonna run the client configuration tool. We didn't run it when we finished the installation, so we're gonna run it now. What this is gonna do is gonna prepare the clients, the supervisor and the agent desktop clients, to look for the UCCX server. In the case that we have two different servers, it's gonna enter that information into the clients, so that it's gonna prepare those installations before we even make them. Here in the PC2, let's start going to UCCX. We don't need to do the tool, the configuration tool again. I just want to be ready on this computer to download the agent desktop. Now, while this is running, I want to go ahead and enter. So we already went here on the rmcm application user and added all the phones that we're gonna use for UCCX. And here, I want to create the resources, or the people that is gonna be part of the UCCX. So these users show up here, and they're not part of any skill, any CSQ, or anything, or any team. And the reason why they get into UCCX already is because they have, at the user level, they have configured the IPCC extension. If we were to remove this from here, from agent 1, this user will not show here anymore. Okay, so that's important, as an important piece of the configuration, that you need to enter the IPCC extension as part of the user, so that it shows here as a resource in UCCX. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and take this. We're gonna say the resource group is sales. We're gonna assign the default skill level, which is 5. And right now, as of right now, they're part of the default team. We're gonna change that. We're gonna do the same thing with agent 1. Assign the resource group. Just select update. Same thing for the supervisor. Okay, now we need to make that supervisor an actual supervisor. So we come here to the wizards, rmcm wizards, we're gonna say add supervisors. We're gonna select this guy right here. We're gonna make him an actually a supervisor, and we're gonna make him part of the reporting group, which we're gonna take a look at later. Now we have this completed. We're gonna go to the teams. We are going to create our team, which is gonna be called sales. We already have an available supervisor, which is supervisor 1. And we don't have any assigned resources, but we do have available resources. So we wanna move them to this side. And the CSQs that are assigned to this guys or to this team, it's gonna be a sales CSQ. Okay, now when we go and look for the resources, the team has already updated into a resources page, and it's already here. Now one thing that I'm noticing is that these guys are all backwards, so I'm gonna go ahead and check this and make it UCCX agent 1. And here you're gonna notice that this information should update in real time. If it's not updating in real time, then there's a problem with your application or your contact center or the replication between UCCX and Call Manager. Now this is still going, so I'm gonna just leave it there, and then I'm gonna come back once this is completed. Okay, so apparently it didn't work because it needed for the configuration utility, the client configuration tool didn't work because it needed something else, something related to Java. Now I'm gonna try it here and I get the same error. So what I'm gonna do, try to run it here. The plugins, stop suites. I'm gonna save it, and now we're gonna run it, and I should have all I need on this one. It's asking me for the IP address of the UCCX server. Now this is loading all the information. Okay, so we're gonna go back to PC1. Back to plugins. This is very normal with Internet Explorer. This is all you have to do, and then refresh the whole thing again. We're gonna go to the desktop suites. We're ready to run this one, and now we're gonna go to the supervisor desktop. Now let's do the same thing here. Now in this case, the supervisor desktop is going to include the agent and then the supervisor applications. If you just want a user that it's going to be an agent and not a supervisor, you're going to select the agent desktop, and that's what we're going to do here on this one. Next. This one is going to be a supervisor desktop. Okay, so now we know that the installation completed successfully. We're gonna go ahead and open the agent application. And center. Okay, so here's the agent. In this one, we just installed the agent. But in this one, seems like if we didn't install anything, yup, installation didn't run. Okay, now let's test it out. And in order to test it out, we're gonna go and make sure we know what is configured. So we're gonna say agent 2 is gonna be PC2, and the user for that one, it's gonna be agent 2, and the extension is gonna be 2013. Agent 2, our password, and the extension is 2013. If everything works fine, this is gonna go through. If we have errors, we should see them shortly. But so far it looks like everything worked perfect. So the installation worked fine on PC2, and now we're trying it in PC1 again. We notice how we can go ready, not ready. What else we can see here? We can go log out. We can use the chat service. We just finished that, and it says that the window is part of the Cisco supervisor installation. Please don't close it. So we have here the agent and the supervisor. So let's open both. And this is the agent. We're gonna log in as supervisor. So it's gonna be supervisor. That's the ID. Cisco is this password. Well, password is the Cisco password that we have been using. And the extension is 2015. Okay, will not work because it's required version JRE. We don't have that. Okay. So that opened the agent. but not the supervisor because we don't have the installation of the Java component. Supervisor. And if everything works fine, it's gonna open. And this is where we select the team, which is the sales team. That's the team we're using. We see all the agents that are logged in. So we have agent 2, the supervisor. We see their status, they're ready, not ready. We see a list of the supervisors connected to the system. We also have the chat option here. And that's all the part, that was part 2 of the UCCX configuration. So thank you for watching.